people and being able to share what I've learned with others to help them transform, feel great, or those who just want to join us in this health mission. So this truly feeds my soul. And so now I would like to turn over to Adrienne. She's a friend and a colleague of mine. Go ahead, Adrienne.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Adrienne Gerard, and I am a registered nurse with master's in holistic nutrition. My passion is helping people restore their health and be strong and immune against pretty much things we don't even know about. I called myself a health and wellness missionary for now 30 years when it was not even popular. And during the day, I work in biotech with rare disease patients with fatal diseases. And that's who I am, happy to be in a positive environment.
Very good. Okay, great. Okay, everybody, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Liz Geeslin, and I am a personal chef. I trained horses professionally for 35 years prior to that. And in the year 2000, I reclaimed my health. And I built my chef business around healthy home cooking, and now I've taken things a step further and am just delighted to be a part of this Modexis family and looking at what these products are going to do for us and the world. And so I am just very honored and thrilled to introduce our speaker tonight and host. Both of them, I'm going to introduce you to Rick Hagar. Looks like he's taking a little picture. And I'm going to give you his bio. Rick, I'm delighted to introduce you. Rick has been a full-time leader in network marketing for over 25 years. He has built organizations in excess of 200,000 people, generating global volumes in excess of 500 million. He has been a master distributor, a top income earner, and has been featured in industry articles, interviewed in industry podcasts, and written compensation plans. Prior to his career in network marketing, Rick worked in the personal development field, facilitating and creating events featuring business gurus such as Hopkins, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, and Jim Rohn. And Rick, I'm just delighted to introduce you. If you would do the honors to also introduce our wonderful Andrew Rinehart as well.
Yes, I absolutely will. And thank you, Liz, for having us on here and for having this live stream. I think it's an awesome piece of technology when we have the ability to reach out and provide valuable information that can impact the quality of a person's life with our products that we have that are life-changing. I mean, we have products here that are not available anywhere else in the world. We are the first company to bring this type of product to market, speaking specifically of the Lonicera Carolea. And then, because we are a word-of-mouth company, we are bringing these products into the marketplace. We're not using the traditional retail type model to bring them into the marketplace. And a lot of people are intrigued by that. They want to know, how do we get these products into the market? Because most people are used to seeing things on TV, or they'll go to the store, they'll walk down an aisle and they'll see a product on the shelf. And there's all these different things, and they've got to try to figure out what's right for them. And that's a retail model. And of course, there's certainly online models and there are other models, but ours is a word of mouth model. And I truly believe that for this type of product line to bring it into the marketplace, it's the best type of model, because when you use a product and you get a result with that product and you feel good about it and you're passionate about it and you've seen value with it, then it's only natural to want to share that with other people. And because our products are unique, there's a story behind them that needs to be told. And that story is not going to get told up on a shelf somewhere, okay? And so what we do is, rather than go and put the product in the stores and invest money in celebrities to go on TV and promote it, what we do is we take the product to the market via word of mouth. And what normally would be allocated for an advertising budget, what we do is we create a royalty pool, so that if you're willing to share your story and share the products and share the opportunity to do this with others, you can share in that royalty pool that normally would be an expenditure for advertising. And I will tell you, if you look at big brand companies, a lot of these companies, they'll spend up to 50% of their revenue into marketing and advertising. Mm-hmm. So it can be quite lucrative. A lot of people have a tendency to believe that this is a little kind of a small business. And for most people it is, but it can be as big as you want it to be. Whether you're looking to just create an extra side gig, $500, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, it can be that for you, very part-time, but it can be a whole lot more than that. It can be much, much more than that. There is the potential to develop a six-figure or multiple six-figure income in this type of business. And so it's a very, very exciting model, and you can feel good about it because you're bringing something to market that is impacting people. There's value there. One of the things that I learned back in my personal development days is that we get paid based on the value we bring to the market. If we provide some form of value for the market, then we're going to be compensated for that in a free market. And the more value you provide to more people, the more income you make. So this is the type of business that you can provide value to people. You can help people both from a physical standpoint, but also from a financial standpoint. We can get into that a little bit more as we go, but I'm just very excited because there are some things here with Modexus that we have that nobody else has. And it's just absolutely incredible what is happening and what is going to happen in the next 6, 12, 24 months. And so let me just introduce Andrew. Andrew Rinehart's our CEO, and he's based out of Bountiful, Utah. And Andrew and I go back probably 10 years, maybe 12 years. And Andrew is a very, very successful entrepreneur. He's been successful in a variety of different industries. And that's one of the things that's most impressive to me about him, is that he just kind of has this ability, this instinct to be able to see where value can be created. And so he's been successful in real estate development, providing value for people in that marketplace. He's been successful with a string of medical clinics and a variety of other businesses. So it's not just been a one thing. He's been successful in a variety of areas. And again, it comes down to being an entrepreneur and knowing how to find a gap where there's value that can be added. And I'm just really excited with what we have going here with Modexus. And Andrew, I'll bring you on. Maybe you want to share with everybody your vision and kind of what's making Modexus different than the typical networking company that's out there.
Yeah, this is a great question. Am I coming through okay, by the way? Can everybody hear me?
Mhm.
Great.
Loud and clear, other than my name tag is on your screen, but that's
They'll understand.
Yeah.
Well, no, thanks for having me on. I think about that question a lot, and that's key, is what really makes Modexus different, because there are so many companies. Everybody on here knows that network marketing companies are all over the place. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. My goodness, they're all over the place. And every company says they're different. So the messaging gets very confusing. So you really have to look at the fundamentals of the company. And I've sat on the sidelines for maybe 5-7 years now, watching and waiting. I wanted to do something in this space 5 years ago, but the components weren't there. I really did want a comp plan that hadn't been done before, that rewarded the 80%. That was very, very important. The binary plans, in my opinion, reward a few people, and they can be lucrative, but generally speaking, they don't last. That was another big piece, is they just didn't last. And I wanted something that can be, I want this to last decades, and I want people to benefit from it. So stability was key. The product was, I just didn't come across anything that got me excited. I didn't come across anything that maybe wasn't kind of a spin-off of what somebody else had done. The Lana Berry is not a spin-off of what nobody had even heard of it. We've all heard of it now that we're here, but you think back, and Rick could probably tell you, I don't know, end of last year, nobody had heard about this. Not nutritionists, not pharmacists. So that was really attractive. And then the next component to it is maybe the culture that we've created, the advocate or the distributor first culture, which I believe is so important. Gone are the days, at least in my opinion, of a company that's able to terminate distributors because they do something they don't agree with, or they're able to cut checks. That's not a fair environment, and your success is our success, truly. This company is set up to reward those that are working, but to be very fair and very stable. And last thought I want to mention is something on that Rick touched on. Most companies do go spend 50% of their revenue on advertising. That's a non-network marketing model. We are paying commissions. We have a very lucrative comp plan. In fact, if you look at the percentage of payout compared to other plans, ours is more lucrative. But then on top of that, we're throwing a lot of money into these ads and these campaigns that we've talked about. I think tomorrow, Rick, we're probably putting the final touches on another one. So that's coming really soon. And we're going to dump money on top of that, all of which will come back to the same place. So we're small right now. Nobody's heard of us, but they are about to. We, even pre-virus, talked about talked about how important it was to be digitally driven. And that's helping even more now. So I think these campaigns are going to do more than what we thought, more than originally planned. So, I mean, I echo what Rick said. I'm excited. I appreciate all of you, of course. I want all of you to know I'm here for you to work side by side. If you need three-way calls, if you need Zooms, if you need anything you need, reach out to me. I want to build this business with you, and grateful for you and appreciate your hard work.
And I'll just underscore, if I could, I'd love to underscore something that Andrew said, because I know that the folks that are watching this stream are going to have a variety of different types of backgrounds. Some people, maybe they've got a long background in our type of business of person-to-person social networking, network marketing. Others maybe are brand new to it. But one of the things that is important for us to point out is that we have a very forward-thinking company, a very out-of-the-box, brand-driven company. Our objective is to bring these products into the market. Now, we're not speaking much to the product right now because we have people that are far more qualified than me to talk about the uniqueness of our product, Lonicera Caerulea, and what we have and how they're impacting people. But just know that this is a brand unlike anything that exists in the market right now. No one can get what we have in our product line. So we have the products, and there will be additional brands coming. This isn't the end for us. We're not going to be a one-trick company. We're going to have layers of brands that you can bring to the market that are all going to impact people. But we have that unique, innovative, first-to-market timing with a new brand, something that hasn't been brought to the market before, with supplementation based on Lonicera Caerulea. But the compensation plan, echoing kind of what Andrew said, most of the compensation plans in the network marketing or direct sales field, they have what I refer to as an obstacle course built in them. And what I mean by that is that if you were to go out and you were to gather up some customers and start to put a team together to bring these products to the marketplace, these compensation plans have many hurdles that you have to jump over and hoops that you've got to jump through in order to qualify to get paid on volume that you have actually created. So think of it this way. There are plans out there where you could go out and you could build a team. Let's say you start with one person and they build a team that's producing tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in sales revenue. But because you don't have another line started inside of that compensation plan, it's called a binary plan, because you don't have another line started, you will not get paid on any of that volume that's been created, even though you were the procuring cause. You brought the person in that helped lead to all that growth. And so that's what I mean when I say obstacle course. I mean, you create volume, but now you have to do other things in order to get paid on that volume. And I'm not saying it's a bad compensation plan. It can be very lucrative for certain people, but it's not the greatest compensation plan for all people. There are other plans where there's structure, where you have to go out and get a few who each get a few, and there's got to be some type of a structure, meaning you've got to get a few golds, who get a few silvers, who get a few bronze, and if it doesn't line up just that way, you don't get paid or your pay is diminished. And we thought that that was, in a way, not just, because if you're creating volume, you should get paid on that volume to a large degree, okay? And so what we did in this pay system is we created a plan that you could literally come in and bring in one person that gets excited, goes out there, gets a bunch of customers, builds a big team. And even if you never did anything else, you can earn deep into that one person's team that they've built and have a really substantial income. So it's the difference between having to deal with a lot of hurdles and obstacles to get paid versus a very clean system that enables you to get paid. And that's one way we're really different. And then the timing of where we are, and then of course the digital media campaign that Andrew talked about. I know of no company that literally is investing the type of money that this company is investing to advertise across the social media channels. And then when people come in as leads or enrollments or customers, those people are then placed under the existing people in the tree. So you have this constant process of a company that is investing money to drive people into the business, customers and enrollments of advocates into the business, and then that's going in to layer the people that came in before them. And so to me, that's very, very exciting. It's a very cooperative environment, and I've just not seen that before. So there's a variety of different ways from the business side of things, from the business perspective, where we have all of these variables that are lining up, that are in place. And if you're seeing this, you've got a chance to be one of the very first people involved as we get this thing going. And so, Liz, I would say if you have any additional questions, that to me, and I love what Andrew said, I think that articulates why at Modexus the timing is perfect and we have some unique qualities versus other companies that exist in our business.
I agree, Rick. It's just, and for me too, and I know my friends that are here because of me, the culture that I feel already in this company, and for me, that's really important. And not only am I having an incredible product experience, because that's first and foremost. I mean, I was going to have carpal tunnel surgery, and I'm here to tell you it's not happening now. I mean, it's really an amazing transformation. But for me, between you, Rick, and watching you and Andrew together, and of course, Deb and Jim and Adrian and I have known each other for 3-4 years now. It's just, and other people here that are on the call that I know through different avenues of my life, and meeting new friends. I'm very proud and very honored to be a part of this and being on. I mean, how often do you get a chance to be on here with the CEO and the CSO of a company? I mean, and every company, I'm sorry, has to start out like this. It doesn't like all of a sudden start out big, right? And this is just really very personal for me. And I love being excited about being a part of something like this.
And if there are people on the Zoom that have questions, we have a chat box at the bottom, so you can just type in your questions if you don't want to speak out. They're more than willing to answer any questions you guys have.
Right. So yeah, feel free if you want to type in the chat box, or if you're comfortable and just want to raise your hand. Anybody has any questions?
So, Rick, why do you think more and more people are looking for side gigs in this day and age?
I think that's a really good question. If you take a step back and you look at, over the last 3, 4, 5 years, you see that there's kind of an emergence of this thing that you referenced it, called the side gig. Side gig is people looking for a way outside of their full-time career to make extra money. It's a side gig. When I used to be involved as a musician a lifetime or two ago, we used to talk about having a gig. We're gonna go play a gig. Well, that's what people are doing. They're looking for this thing called a side gig. And I really think it's for a variety of different reasons. I think that people are looking for ways to pay down some debt. A lot of times what happens is that people get into debt and they need to pay that debt down. So they look for a side gig in order to pay down some debt, if you have credit card debt or whatnot. Other people are looking to help secure and fund their retirement. You get a lot of people that, they're working real hard, their head is down, and then they look up and they see that, I got to retire in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. And where I should be, I'm not. And financially, I've got to figure out a way to tilt the scales back in my favor. And so they look for a side gig to help them with that. Some people just want to have an extra layer of security. Some people want to be able to invest for the future. So there's a lot of different reasons. We're all a little bit different with respect to why, we do the things that we do, but there's no mistake you can't make any mistake about it. The side gig is a real thing. If you look at companies like Uber, companies like Lyft, companies like Airbnb, how were these companies created? They came out of a trend of side gigs, because the people that fuel those companies are pretty much people that are looking for a way to create additional income over and above outside of what they might be currently doing. Now, some of them do it full time, but most of them, probably 80% or 85%, 90% across the board, they're doing it as a side gig, as a way to generate that extra income. And then with that extra income, they can do with it what they will. I happen to think that what we do is the best type of side gig, because you can bring value to people. I really believe that your health is your first wealth. If you don't take care of that, nothing else is going to matter. You can help yourself and your family and other people and their families with that. But it's simple, and we can take advantage of technology, and you can create an income here that becomes royalty-like in nature. Meaning, once you develop a customer base, once you build a team, and that there's volume flowing through that, you continue to get royalties, whether you're golfing, skiing, or laying out on the beach. I've literally taken periods of my life when I've had this type of business really going, where I've taken weeks and even a month, 2 months off and done nothing, and my income has gone up simply because of what was put in motion. So from a lifestyle standpoint, I truly believe this is the best. Andrew, maybe you want to piggyback, or maybe I'm missing something with regard to that, but I think those are some reasons why people are looking for a side gig. Anything you would add?
Well, the reasons that people were looking for a side gig 6 months ago might be different than what they are now with everything going on in the world. And I mean, I don't think that the current situation with the virus has exposed bad business plans. I think that's a stretch. You know, if you owned a hotel, I don't think that's a bad business plan, but you're out of business, basically. Network marketing has stayed strong and maybe even grown. And this is incredible. Maybe this virus will go right quick, and maybe it'll be here for a long time. Maybe this is the new normal. We have to learn to live with it. But either way, network marketing is going to thrive. So I think the short answer is this couldn't be more perfect. You can work from home. This is a word of mouth business, like Rick has said. This is making people healthy. It's creating an income that doesn't require any retail, doesn't require necessarily, be nice if we could get together, but doesn't require it. This is phenomenal. This checks a lot of boxes. There's more people looking for an opportunity like this than ever before. And I think they're looking for a company specifically like ours. So if this is kind of the new normal, we're going to be in a good spot. I think all the people joining us are going to be in a good spot. If there was no comp plan attached to this, I think we'd be in a good spot because the products are that good. But all of us on this call, on everybody watching right now, I can promise you, if you engage and you spread this message, build the plan, spread the products, you are going to do very, very well here. I think the income could be greater than anything you've experienced before. The comp plan is set up to do that. And we have all of the components in place. From a company standpoint, we are healthy financially, and we're going to dump a lot into this. We believe in what we're doing. So that'd be my answer to the question.
Right. Rick, it looks like we've got some questions coming in. So we have one. The first one is, Jim says he's really happy that you addressed the binary comp plan. And could you talk a little bit more about the strength of the unilevel and what are some simple tips to maximizing the plan?
Well, like I said, I'm not one to, I've built in 25 plus years, I've built inside of pretty much every plan. I've built inside of unilevel plans. I've built inside of binary plans. I've made millions in binary plans. And I've done incredibly well. I've had a multiple six-figure income inside of a unilevel plan. I've actually made more money in my career with a binary plan than I have with a unilevel plan. But because of that, I have the ability to have that unique 35,000 foot flyover, and I can see what transpires inside of that plan. And like I said, for a recruiter, for a builder, it can be a fantastic plan. They can make a lot of money. But for the 80%ers out there that are just looking to do this part-time, I don't believe it's the optimal plan for them simply because of the balancing and the requirements that you have to do. It takes a lot of effort. And there are a lot of issues, and we won't get into the whole compensation plan thing with regard to the binary right now. Suffice to say, my statement would be, I believe it can be a great plan for some, but for the majority, I don't believe it's the best plan. Now, to Steve's question about the unilevel, I like the unilevel because it's very simple. It's very easy. You come out, and aside from developing your customer business, which is critical, we want to build healthy customer businesses, every individual. The part of the plan that is a unilevel is you go out and you sponsor someone or you enroll someone and they become a team member. They're on your first level. Unilevel means you get paid a percentage across multiple levels or a variety of levels. And so you sponsor someone, they're on your first level, and you get paid a percentage of the orders of people that are on your first level. So if you were to go out and sponsor 5 people, they would be all on your first level. Directly under you, across level 1, you'd have 5 people. And you'd get a percentage based on the sum total of the orders across your first level. Now, if those 5 people, if they went out and they each sponsored 5 people, you would have 25 people across your second level, because you got 5 would be your first level, they got 5 would be your second level. So 5 who each get 5 is 25 people you'd have on your second level, and you get a percentage based on the sum total of the people across your second level. 25 people, you're getting paid a percentage based on the orders of those 25 people. And what happens is this starts to grow and compound, because if 25 people were each to go out and get 5 people, that's 125 people that would come in on your third level. So you're going to get a percentage of all the orders of those 125 people. And if they each went out and got 5, that'd be 625 people on your next level. You get a percentage of the orders of 625 people. And it can, and as the deeper it goes, the more incredible it gets. If you were to look at the concept of a penny that doubled itself every day for 31 days, you start out with a penny. It doesn't look like a whole lot. On day 2, you've got 2 cents. On day 3, you've got 4 cents. Doesn't look like much. Did you know that by the time you get 2 weeks in, it's only of a penny doubling itself every day. By the time you get 2 weeks in, you got like $160. It doesn't even really look like it's worth the effort. But by the time you get to day 31, it's over $10 million. And that's the power of compounding. And that's what happens in this type of plan, is that you can get a few who get a few, and it compounds over time with consistent effort. And so the unilevel plan I like because it's just simple, it's easy, it's straightforward. You have a certain number of levels, you get paid on those levels, and there are usually additional bonuses that get you paid far below those levels in addition to that. But I like unilevel because it's simple, and as long as a company doesn't throw a bunch of hoops, a bunch of structure, and a bunch of obstacle courses inside of it, it can be a plan that works for probably 80 to 95% of the people. It actually can work for 100% of the people, but it's a better plan for 80 to 95% of the people. So I hope that that answers your question there, Stephen.
Yeah. Great. Okay, we have another question. Julie was asking if you could expand a little bit about the company's leads, the campaigns that you're going to be doing, and how they're generated, and how and when would they be added to the existing businesses.
You want to take that one, Andrew?
Yeah, sure. So we finished up kind of our first campaign. I guess it's probably been a month ago now. It was not all of our efforts. I think we were testing some back-end software, and we did a moderate amount of advertising. Maybe big by some people's standards, but not big by what we're going to do. A certain amount of those people bought product, they converted, and they're in the Modexus tree. Some of that volume went into the tree, maybe into people that didn't know they were getting it, but there was also a lot of leads that did not purchase product, and those leads have been distributed out. There's still more that we need to distribute out because the majority of people still won't buy products. So we're going to end up with a lot of leads. The answer to the question is we're about to get into our next campaign. That doesn't replace the need for us to go spread the message traditionally here with Modexus. Right. So don't get too confused with, oh, this thing, I'm all of a sudden going to have $100,000 in volume in my tree.
Right.
But there is going to be, on this next one, with the budget I have in mind, there's going to be a lot of volume. I think there's going to be a ton of people, maybe thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people that we're going to need to develop a system. That could be phone calls, that could be emails, it could be text messages for reaching out to these people. And there's no way we can handle it. So the field will handle it. We'll distribute that out. Time frame wise, Rick, I don't know. We'll probably run this next campaign for a few weeks, I would guess. Then we'll go into a conversion phase, and it'll be during that conversion phase that volume will be generated, and immediately after the conversion phase that leads would be distributed. There may be the opportunity for leads to come prior to that, but that'd be my rough guess. Also, you'll be able to participate in this campaign if you wanted to. We'll get you details. You'll all have a website that you can use, and you can use to spread the message. You can keep doing what you're doing with Modexus, but I would say maybe a month to do everything all in. Don't you think, Rick?
Yeah, I think typically these campaigns, you got to understand, it takes a little bit of time, just like it takes the penny, 2-3 weeks to start picking up steam. It takes the campaigns, 2-3 weeks to begin picking up steam. But we're also looking at the possibility of doing a variety of different types of campaigns. So some campaigns we may convert almost instantly. Okay, we have a campaign that converts. The person sees an ad, they click, they go to a page, they enroll right then and there. So we don't have to wait a month. Some of them we may want to do more of a curiosity type thing to build some interest and excitement. So it just depends on the campaign. But once the campaign is concluded and we've given people a chance to upgrade, if it's a longer campaign, once that's closed out, then we'll begin to migrate those folks into the field. If it's an instant campaign, it could happen a lot quicker. What we will probably do going forward, and this is something we learned on the last campaign, because this is a work in progress and we learn new things every time we do this, is rather than distribute the leads to everybody, in other words, we have a list of 100 people that we're going to try to get leads to 100 people, what we'll probably do is work with like the 3K or the 5K ranks in your upline, give the leads to them, and then they can disperse them among the folks on their team who they know that actually want them. Because interestingly enough, there are some people that they're not really good working with leads. They're afraid to make the phone calls and everything. They're better with a more of a warm circle of influence. So this will help us a lot, because the last campaign, it was really difficult getting leads out to individuals, where if we would have gone to, let's say, a leader and said, okay, here's a batch for your team, you break them down and get them to everyone on your team, it just makes everything move a little bit more quickly that way. But yeah, different types of campaigns. And so each one, we're going to look at it and approach it differently based on the parameters of that campaign, if that helps.
Right. Great. Also, this was great. Steve wrote this. He said, speaking to the culture of the company, he goes, he said, I was stuck on my marketing and I approached a group of leaders, and wow, they really jumped in and gave me some great advice. And I have not seen a group like this in a long time. That's great, Steve. Yeah, that was Stephen's comment.
I think Michelle, did you have a question? You were trying to raise your hand earlier.
Oh, here. Oh, here. There you go.
I just, because I had only bought product and I hadn't like actually gone on for an auto ship, I didn't know what the compensation plan was. And I didn't know where to find the documents within the program. So I logged onto my website while we were talking. I've got a little bit more of an idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
So I just was confused because I didn't know any of the compensation plans.
Right.
So I'm just absorbing.
And don't worry about that. I think it was Michelle. I actually have a friend, I kid you not, and this happens actually more than you might think in this type of business, where a friend will share a product, they like the product, they want to use it, then they start just sharing it with people, just natural human nature. I like this product, it's helped me with this, or it's helped me with that, you should try it. And before you know it, there's a team that's building, they're getting checks, they don't even know what the compensation plan is. I actually know someone that was making, this is not an income claim or anything, because this is someone from a different company in a different time. I have a friend that was making over $30,000 a month in a company, and they had no clue how the compensation plan worked. They'd never logged into their back office. All they did was get fired up about a product, and they just kept sharing it. And through that process, they found a couple of people that took off and ran. Right. And it worked that way. Will it happen that way for everybody? No, but it does happen more than you might think. We have actually got people in Modexus right now, I kid you not, that have a check coming because of the nature of our plan. Our plan is very different. This gal, she enrolled for free. She never purchased any product at all. She enrolled for free, never purchased any product, but she shared her link, her web link, with I think 1 or 2 people. And then she forgot about it. Well, one of the people she shared her web link with enrolled, she bought some product, and now she loves the product. And we're sending the gal who quit, who doesn't even remember this, checks. And when the company called her, because we didn't have an address for her in the system, never ordered anything. So the company called her and said, we've got a check for you. She thought it was a scam. She hung the phone up. We eventually got the check to her, though, didn't we? Did we, Andrew?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's happened more than once, and that just speaks to how easy the comp plan is. Really, there's no fine print. There's no hoops to jump through. You can enroll for free and make money. So it's pretty cool how simple that is. There's not many plans that could do that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's see if we have any other. Okay, that was great advice. Okay, let's see. Okay, Steve, what was the great advice? April, it was social. Oh, okay, I see that. Okay, Steve was having a conversation about the great advice, and then April said it was. Steve said it was April. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. That it was social media engagement that Rick was actually training on with Facebook. So awesome. Well, it's great. So anybody else have any other questions? You can either raise your hand or put in the chat box.
You know, I just want to make mention of one thing I really love about your Facebook groups, your private groups, is that you can just add people to those groups and just have them watch and just drip on them and have them see what the culture is like, see what the people are like, see the testimonials that are in there, listen to Dr. Rouse talk. And that has brought in people wanting to engage with the company or share it with other people just by being on those Facebook groups. So I think that has been very powerful and an excellent idea for you guys to do that.
Yeah, well, it makes it very organic, and it's just such a natural way to do things, and that, you know, somebody's curious about it, and then if you see an article or something that you think a person might be interested in, especially, then by tagging them in a post, then it brings it to their attention and they're appreciative of it. I mean, they can pay attention to it or not, but it's a way of not, we're not selling anything to anybody. We're just delivering information, showing people a way and a place where they can go and become educated about it and listen to people's testimonials and just learn that much more.
Yeah, the groups are powerful. If you have folks, you always want to add them to the group with their permission, of course, because they have to approve it anyways.
Right.
So you can add it, you can go in there and you can add them to the group. Once they've approved it, then you can begin to go through, and if you want, you can tag them in some content. You can tag them in some of the product reviews. There's articles. I put an article in there today from Dr. Rouse where he's talking about Montessori Carolea helping with healthy blood sugar. You can tag them in stuff. They'll get the notification. They'll be able to see it. But what's really powerful about the groups is the social proof. If they sit there and they see these things and they watch, like Deb was saying, but they see other people getting excited about it and other people sharing how it's helping them, that's more powerful than anything that we could ever say to them.
Right.
So I would encourage, yes, always, if you have folks that are open to learn a little bit more, add them to the groups, maybe tag them in a few pieces of content. And then as long as they're in that group, as new stuff comes in, there's a propensity for them to see that, and that could help.
Yeah. Very good. Anybody else have anything for either Andrew or Rick? Okay, that doesn't look like the Zoom chat's working here. Okay. Okay, well, okay, was I on mute?
No, you're good. I think we're golden.
Okay, great. Yes, and then, okay, the name of the two Facebook groups are the official Modexus product community and the official Modexus business community. And you can, if you're not in the groups, you can ask to be, to join and you'll get let in. Or I think, yes, I think that most everybody here might be in the group. So
we're gonna wrap this up if you don't have any more questions, but we want to thank Andrew and Rick for taking their time out of their evening to join us and share a little bit more about the business side of Modexus. And so we greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining in with us. So you guys have a great night.
yeah, yep, this was great. And both,
Thank you.
Drew, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to be with us. This is really been wonderful. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.